Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. Today's exciting episode, I make another layer cake dress. All these lovely rich autumn tones mixed with green as well, because green is my favorite color.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
I really am determined to use up all my dressmaking fabrics. And, well, some of them I've set aside because I'm going to use them to make up mock-ups of jacket patterns, but all the pretty ones are going into little piles, which I will turn into layer cake dresses. And I'm getting through them eventually. So this is how I did the first. That one I turned into a layer cake skirt, actually, with the sushi. It's very cute, that one. I made it as part of September's You've Got Mail month, inspired by that movie. This is the strawberry dress, and this is my green one. Oh my gosh, I love this green one. Okay, so this is what a layer cake dress is, and you need loads of different fabrics. So now let's go ahead and make one. So these were my selected piles. So I've made a couple of them so far. But yeah, this autumny tone one with the green in it as well. I don't know, it's just something. So this is the sushi layer cake skirt that I made in September. Very cool. You need to have a cotton lawn, one of the thinner cottons, to make a skirt. But also I kind of like making dresses. So we are going to make a dress. And yeah, I've been wanting to use this beautiful butterfly print for quite some time, and I don't know, I originally had it with a bunch of teal colored fabrics that I was just going to but I don't know, I think I happened to put it down with that autumn cotton lawn, the second one with the rose hips in it, and I just love those two next to each other. So this is what we're doing. I have 2 yards of this, which is fashion width, and 2 yards of the other one that's fashion width, and then the butterflies. And yeah, I just tore them up into strips, sewed them all back together again, and it's way too long. It is so ridiculously long. But I just, I guess I forgot that the 2 green ones are fashion width, which is much wider than a quilting cotton. So I was just sort of working away, not really thinking. So I might take the green bits out and use them in something else. But the plain green bits, well, they're embroidery on glaze. They look plain green from far away, but they've actually got green embroidery on them. So it's green on green. So I might take them out, but that's an awful lot of unpicking and resewing. So what I could do is, I guess I could remove the top 3 colours and then just have, because the first 3 are 2 yards. The next set of colours is 4 yards pleated down. The 2 colourful layers sandwiched between the 2 plain greens, those colourful layers are an 8-yard loop, and then the 2 bottom ones are a 16-yard loop. I had 1 yard of this. I've used half of it in the 4-yard loop here, as you can see, and the other half I kept aside to make the bodice out of. So that's what the colour is going to look like on the top. So I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll keep all the top bits, but maybe the greens are the plain green with the green embroidery on it are the bits that sort of stick out the most and would be the easiest to remove. Well, that actually take a lot of time to remove, but I'll pin them out and we'll see what it would look like. So it's really roughly pinned, but this is what it would look like without the green. I don't know. I love green so much. It does look good, but it would just take so much effort to, you'd have to unpick both sides of it, then replete the bottom tier, and it just seems like so much work. It does look good without the green, I guess, but then you've got that top layer that is still a bit green. I don't know, maybe that would stick out even more if you remove the 2 green ones. I was feeling under the weather, so I just was sitting on the sofa working. Like the 2 yard loop was all sewn together, the 4 yard loop was all sewn together, the 8 yard loop was all sewn together, and the 16 yard loop those two fabrics were all sewn together. So I was just pleating them down, and I didn't get up and hold the dress against myself. I don't know, I guess it's laziness. Anyway, I ended up taking the bottom, the 16 yard loop off, and I'll use that in something else. So now it's normal length. But I don't know. I liked it with the other colours. It looks fine like this. I think, I don't know, that top one now, not the rose hip, but the second layer, that's sort of sagey green with other colours in there, and it looks vaguely foliage-ish. I think that might look a little bit weird once it's on the dress, but apart from that, I think it's quite cute. It's still really autumny and very pretty. So yeah, in this particular bit of footage, I'd only just pinned it up. You can still see the actual 16 yard loop on the back of half of the skirt. It's just pinned up on the front half. So I was like, yeah, okay, this is good. Now I have to actually go and do all that unpicking, which, oh my gosh, it took a ridiculous amount of time. But it does look fabulous. So here we go. Separated again. I'll use this on a different dress because these two fabrics are gorgeous. And I've got some red fabrics. So I suppose it would go with that. Red or I don't know what I'll use them in. I'll use them in something, or I might just pull them apart. And it's a 16 yard loop, so it's actually quite a lot of fabric. Anyway, I'll use them in something else. And this one, the skirt of this one here, is now done. So I will leave this on the mannequin and I will make the bodice. These colours are so pretty together. You know, sometimes you make something and you're like, oh, this is so visually pleasing. I'm sometimes just going to go to the wardrobe, get it out and have a look at it because it's so pretty. It's an unusual combination. I don't normally mix the sort of scarlet deeper reds with green. Okay, I'm going to make the bodice now. So here we go. I made it. I used that lovely McCall's pattern that I always make because it's such a good bodice. One piece for the front, one piece for the back. You cut out the pattern pieces, and then you cut out two, so one for the outer bodice, one for the lining, and then you just sew it up together using the burrito method because it's sleeveless. And it's just really simple, and it's a pullover dress, so you don't have to do any fitting or anything like that. And then you can wear it, if it gets a bit cool, you can wear it over a long sleeve t-shirt with a cardigan over the top as well, and you still got I just realized I cut out the back two pieces the wrong way. This is where you have to have the print facing outwards when you cut things out. Like I centered the woodcut, like the butterflies on the front. I put so much effort into centering them, and then the back I was like, yeah, I've got to cut them out too. And oh my goodness. Anyway, so then I made the bodice, and then I attached the bodice to the skirt and pleated it down, sewed them together, and then you have to hand stitch the inside, the lining bodice to the skirt, because when you have two bodices, the outer one and the lining one, they both carry the weight of the skirt, and it just makes the dress look effortless. I think if you just had a single layer for your bodice, you would see pull marks and it wouldn't age as well because these skirts are very full and therefore quite heavy. I mean, I don't mind it. I like a full skirt. But if you're making things the fast fashion way, yeah, I wouldn't. I'd make a lining on your bodice. Anyway, here we go. Isn't it pretty? So that was what it would look like without the tie or belt around the waist. And this is what it looks like with a belt around the waist. And it's just so pretty. So, yeah, these fabrics kind of remind me of a pine forest. And that fabric that I've used, the sash around the belt, that fabric is a Sally Kelly print, and it's called Paradiso, and it's this magical forest. So in my mind, they go really well. And happened to be, when I was taking this footage, I was standing beside this storage box full of scraps of my jacket making fabrics that they're just tiny, and I'm gonna make little mini purses out of them, like bead one side and just have the jacket fabric leftover bit on to make the other side of the purse, the handbag. Anyway, it reminded me that I've got this cropped jacket in these dragon scale sequins that that jacket would look absolutely amazing with this dress. So, but I couldn't be bothered going to my jackets and getting it out. But they will look gorgeous together. I'm really happy with this dress. The top three fabrics, like the first one is the rosehip one. That looks perfect. It matches perfectly with the butterflies in the bodice. But the second and the third one, I'm not entirely sure they go from far away. Everything matches when you look up closer, like all the colours in the bodice match everything, like the sagey sort of background of the bodice matches that layer. Oh, and this is me deciding which sash we'll put on next, and I end up going with a light one because, yeah, there's that sage, that second layer, that sort of lighter sage one. I was trying to sort of make it seem less out on its own. When you're in person, the rosehip layer, it's a white background, so everything sort of goes better. But from far away, I guess you can't really see that. I don't know. It's definitely not my usual colour combination, but I really, really like it. And I think this necklace goes well with it. It's not necklace, it's some expensive beads, and you leave them on the wire strand that they sell them to you. They're like that so that each of the beads don't crush, lean against each other and scratch each other. So I don't actually wear jewellery, but it does look good when I'm styling the mannequin. I do think it looks good to have those on there. And the apricot ones go really well with this. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. It's kind of autumny-ish. Definitely reminds me of a pine forest. It's really beautiful. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Use up all your scrap fabrics and all your leftovers and sew them together in stages. Oh my gosh, you can't do the whole thing. Oh, this is me trying to get this sash to match because I put on this teal one, aquary teal one, because it matches the butterflies in the bottom layer, but it doesn't really go with the rest of the dress. I do like how the aquary butterflies in the bottom layer have pink in them, pink and aqua and teal. So I don't have any more aqua and teal fabrics, but I do have pink tweeds and I do have teal tweeds. I think I'll do something where pink and aqua and teal are all together because they look delightful. And then I could maybe wear it with this dress. And I had this one hanging up and I was like, oh, because this jacket was inspired by a mushroom. And in pine forests that I've been to, they always have toadstools and mushrooms because that's pretty much the only thing that will grow in pine needles, because pine needles just make the soil impossible for anything but pine trees and toadstools, just because of their chemical makeup. And yeah, I think so that's why I got out this. Also, I suppose it matches the red bits in the rose hip layer. But these look absolutely adorable together. Yes, I would definitely. I really don't wear my dresses and my jackets together. I tend to, because the jackets are so completely bling, I tend to just wear them only with t-shirt and jeans and dress them down. And that way you can wear them as everyday. Whereas if you dress them up, then it's like too much and people notice you too much. It's not really my thing. But I do love this combination, maybe even if I just wear it around the house. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. The leftover fabric, so 16-yard loop, massive, kind of useless, too big to use on anything. And but they are fabulous. Those two fabrics are absolutely gorgeous together. So what I'm thinking is that I will just make, because this would have looked absolutely gorgeous as a skirt, but I really wanted to use the second half of that butterfly fabric as the bodice. So these two fabrics that I have, I think I'm going to, because it's 16, that means I could make an 8-yard loop, a 4-yard loop, and a 2-yard loop, and still have 2 left over. So I could just make the bottom layer of the skirt extra big. That would be quite cool. I like it when a skirt has that kick. It kicks out and the bottom layer is just extra fabulous. Yeah, I think I'll do that because I love those two fabrics together, and I don't there's so much of it. It will definitely make a whole skirt on its own. So that's probably what I will do with those two, that leftover fabric. Anyway, that is really it for this video. I'm quite taken with this combination. It's very unique. It's not, I've done the green dress, I've done my strawberry dress, I've done all the ones that I really wanted to do. And then with all the other fabrics, I'm like, let's just do interesting, different combinations that aren't the first thing I would ever think of. And that's how I ended up with the poppy dress, which, oh my gosh, I adore that more than like all the fabrics. Poppies are my favorite flower. So yeah, these dresses are just so cool. Definitely drag out all your fabrics and go to town. Have so much fun with it. Totally worth it. This jacket really does look amazing with this dress. Anyway, thanks again for watching and happy sewing.